Thanks so much for joining, everyone. I'm your host, Dakota Ray. Thanks for listening into CreatorQon today. I'm very excited about this panel. We have 3 people on this panel today, our biggest panel thus far. Say hello to Todd, Akil, and Shane from AllMax. So I'd love to get some quick intros from everybody. Tell me who you are and what your role is and what you do at AllMax.
Yeah, I'll go first then. So I'm Shane, kind of head of marketing and e-commerce here at AllMax. We put all the strategy together that is this brand out to the world, right? So it's pretty much everything that's media, communications, stories, influencers, athletes, right? And Akil and Todd are part of that team too. So I'll pass it to them.
Yeah. You go ahead, Akil. I'll go last.
Perfect. Yeah. My name is Akil. So I am the social media manager for like the Instagram, TikTok side of things.
Nice.
Dealing with the content that funnels through there and posting and getting it all up and interacting with the community through those channels. So those are like my main points.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Todd Hughes. I work on the overall video production, which includes product videos, content shoots, editing, YouTube creator content, as well as managing our roster of creators, athletes, and affiliates day to day.
Wow, we have the dream team here.
The dream team.
All basis.
Oh, yeah.
So this is going to give really good insight, I think, to people who are listening from a creator side of how this works on the brand side. Like everybody who's kind of touching the creator influencer marketing partnerships is on the call. So we're excited. What originally drew you, I guess, to the world of nutrition and supplements? And just curious, like how did you guys get into this line of work?
Yeah, for myself, it was definitely a long time ago. Just being an athlete, being an active person, and then learning the industry kind of from the ground up, studying health science, being involved in the industry, training people, developing athletes, all that kind of stuff. And then then you learn about the community and you learn what they need and how to help and how to add products and all that to it, and just natural transition into putting that all together into messaging and helping get good products out to people. So that was kind of my walk into it.
Okay, cool. So you already came from the space, kind of.
That's
you
right.
were already okay. Interesting. Okay, I'm interested to hear
Lived
from John.
it, earned it,
I love that.
Yeah, and then for me, I love the gym. So I was always at the gym anyways, especially as it pertains to AllMax. I would see AllMax around, different people taking different subs in the gym, and then yeah, I just was like, okay, this is kind of right up my alley. This is already what I'm interested in. And I have the knowledge of like being in the field and being around it and going to the gym, being an active person, that it was like a no-brainer for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's great.
Yeah. It's probably a similar background too. Like I've always been into health and fitness and sports since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Played basketball, football, rugby, all of that stuff. So even in high school and in university, I was taking supplements. So I was a consumer first, kind of fell in love with routine of working out and sports and training. And so then got into the film business for a while. And then after that, I got into kind of a fitness brand that included like Clean Eating, Oxygen, Muscle Mag, a bunch of different brands. And then from that, I've been doing it about 16 years. And AllMax at that one point was one of my clients.
Oh, wow.
So I had a relationship with them on the other side of the table. And so after that kind of finished, I got in touch with them and a couple other companies. And they were one of the companies that I thought, hey, this makes the most sense for me. And
that's amazing. Obviously, there were some consistent themes talking former athlete, coming from the space. I think that's great insight for people too. Like, you can be an athlete, but you're not everybody's going to become a professional athlete. There's other avenues.
A lot of them aren't. Yeah, exactly.
In this world. So that's really inspiring. I know, Todd, you mentioned quickly, you said you played rugby. I played rugby too. I played rugby for Team Canada.
Oh, wow. Good for you.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Thank you. What position did you play?
I was a winger.
Okay, so you're fast.
I had speed. Yeah, exactly. I had speed, and I was pretty good at kicking too, so I could do my drop kicks.
Okay.
Yeah. I stayed out of the scrum as much as possible. I tried that a couple of times. I'm like, I don't think that's for me, but leave that for the big guys. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that sport.
What did you play?
I played fly half.
Fly half, nice.
Yeah. So that was a fun time, but we had to retire.
Yeah, I know, right? At some point, you can't come into work injured all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. So I had to give that up. But anyways, well, AllMax, I understand, is known for science, innovation, quality, and results. I guess, what does that philosophy mean to you all personally in terms of the brand ethos?
Yeah, I think the brand is really built on all of those qualities because they all are rooted in basically transparency and honesty. It's like, we put together products because we truly want them to do what they're supposed to do. We truly want them to help people perform, and we do it with the best quality that we possibly can. And the way we do that is by putting a science-backed approach to everything that we do. There's a lot of brands in the past that have, put together fairy dust and put together snake oil things, and we're just not that brand. We put together the right stuff. We take a lot of care into the flavors. We take a lot of care into the ingredients. We've got a great product development team that sits around the table every single time we put something to market. It sometimes takes us a little bit because we care that much. So, personally is one thing, but I know the brand is backed by that, and everybody here has kind of the same thought process on the.
No, that's great. That's great insight. And I think, for us, it's always important to try to, understand, okay, what's the core values of this brand? What does that mean? And I think also it helps when aligning to athletes or aligning to creators or aligning to people that you might want to partner with. Do they have kind of the same ethos? So it's really great to understand that. What's one value or principle that you bring into every partnership, that you work on as a brand? And this will be really good insight for athletes and creators.
I think it's a lot of the same quality, to be honest. I know I'm taking the question here, but I
Yeah.
think it's really the other transparency or collaboration. And no partnership we get into works well ever unless we're on the same page and we're aiming towards the same thing and we're transparently working together. There's a lot of transactional partnerships out there. We get into ones that are truly with friends of the company. We become a relationship and we work through it together, whatever it may be. So I know we had one recently that was very successful that Todd and Akil worked on very closely as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from you, Todd and Akil, on that question as well. If there was another principle or something that you wanted to add.
I think for me, especially when it comes to the partnerships and projects where we work on for like different social campaigns or social like, projects where we have to one go to shoots or film things, record, work with athletes and creators and influencers on like an interpersonal level.
Yep.
A quality or value that I really, really admire is just an overall like I guess work ethic, a want and a need to achieve the same goal. I think is really, really important because I think if you have a lot of people on set or a lot of people working together collaboratively, if it's clear and outlined what the intention is behind the project and what you're aiming to, it makes it a lot easier to get there, right? You worry less about the hiccups along the way because nobody's confused about what they're doing or what they're aiming to achieve. I think that's something that's really, really important when we work with athletes at all different levels.
Sure, sure. No, that's great. And I know everybody here is in the, again, marketing, esque umbrella of the business, partnerships. People tend to be a little bit jelly of the marketing people. They get to have fun.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys get
I don't know how true that
It's
is.
true.
exactly. So what would you say is your most memorable or fun moment working at AllMax thus far?
You want me to take that one?
Yeah, you can go ahead first.
Yeah,
Todd.
we recently, the team did a partnership with Football Canada.
Nice.
And so they were getting ready for their international game over in Italy. And so what we did was we drove down to the training that they were having at the University of Western on the field there.
Okay.
And we brought them a whole bunch of supplements. So I think just that experience where when we had the unboxing in the locker room after the guys had in their on-field training to come in and just see the authentic reaction from the players, like it was like next level. They were so excited to get the supplements. Like Akil and I were there. Shane couldn't be there, but Akil and I were there, and they were just, we were so grateful for you guys. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks for these supplements. I mean, the generosity that they felt from AllMax just permeated through the room, and the authenticity of everybody just being totally, excited and over the moon that we are supporting them and giving them these supplements that they can use in their training and in their football games. I just thought that was a great moment. It was a great kind of human collaboration moment that then transferred onto the social media platforms and did quite well for us there as well.
That's huge.
Yeah. And then for myself, I would say probably when we went to the Mr. Olympia in October. So that was really, really nice for me because, like I had mentioned,
First one.
Exactly, it's my first one, and I've always loved the gym, and I've always been involved in seeing things from the outside. But one, being able to go there was amazing, and then two, being able to be a part of the booth and kind of like see it from the inside out,
Yeah.
was also really, really fun. Getting like an idea into what it takes to run a booth and plan it and all of those things. And then similar to Todd speaking about Football Canada and the players being really excited for the product, it was really nice to connect with the athletes and the creators that we had brought along with us, building personal relationships with them, working with them even closer than we already were. I mean, at this point, we're all like with each other like 3 days in and out at the booth, at dinner, grabbing food on the side. We're going to this, going for walks. Like it was like you really got connected with these people, and it was really, really nice to work with them in that capacity. And I think that was definitely one of like my most memorable moments with AllMax.
That's great. It extends past social. So it
Right.
extends past the social. There's actually a real person component,
Yeah.
right, to the partnerships that not everybody gets to see all the time. But it's
Mhm.
nice to hear that that's a reality, in a lot of the partnerships that you guys are working on. So that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to shift a little bit here. I want to talk about brand projects and campaigns and creator advice and all the fun stuff. Tell us about a recent campaign or collaboration that you've worked on that you were excited about or proud of.
I would say, yeah, speaking to what Todd said, the Football Canada, that one was like really, really, it was really, really amazing because, like Todd mentioned, we got to go out there, we got to work with them, see them in person, interact, do the unboxing. And then also what we saw through socials was amazing. The return on people like inquiring about AllMax, more people wanting to be athletes and work with us was definitely one that we thought was really, really cool. I'll also add in there, of course, this one with Six Buzz was amazing as well, too, as we talked about this week. Yeah, so those are like some really, really good.
Yeah,
Oh, we're not.
We'll edit that.
it's all good. No,
We'll
no,
edit it. But Football Canada is the one then. That's the one that we really, really enjoyed because we got to be out there on the field with those guys. I think that was really fun.
totally. Would you guys, curious, influencer marketing, I want to ask about influencer marketing and sports marketing, athlete marketing, how it's helped the brand and move the needle. But do you guys consider athlete marketing and influencer marketing the same? Is it under the same bucket for you, or is it fundamentally different? Curious.
I would say very similar
Okay.
in the sense that, think about kind of marketing with personalities in its entirety throughout the industry. Every
Okay.
person that's got a crowd following them looking for their advice is an influencer of some sort. Now, there's different scales to that, and there's different value systems, different ways that they reach their communities. In
Yep.
our system, we do segment a little bit. So there's a little bit of a tiered space. But in general, everybody's part of the same team. That's kind of the way that we view it.
That's the way you view it. Okay, cool. Makes sense. And I guess, oh, sorry, go ahead, Todd.
No, I agree with Shane. Absolutely.
Okay. And then on your side, athletes, can also not just mean professional athletes, also people who are non-professional as well can align to the brand and be under that athlete marketing bucket for you guys.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Because really, it's an aspirational brand, right? We serve people who are trying to achieve goals, who are trying to get somewhere. The odds of them always being professional athletes are very low. So the people that are really trying to make their way up, guys who are in university, they're in competitive sports, they're trying to get there. We try to help that crowd as much as we can. So somewhere along the line, some of them get very, very good at what they're doing, and a lot of people really trust them. So we like to bring them onto the team and support them just as much on their entire journey.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And it's crazy. I know statistically, I've even seen like only 3% of NCAA athletes actually become professional athletes, right? Like
Right.
it's so tiny.
Yeah.
That's why we encourage brands to, plug into the quote unquote non-professional athlete at this time, because they may become that. And or if they don't, they're growing a massive following along the way, right? To your point. So no, that's really great. I would say, or my question is, from an influencer marketing perspective, how has that moved the needle, right? Leveraging influencers, leveraging athletes for the brand. Has this been a positive? Has this been a negative? Like, why has this, worked for the brand, or how has it worked?
Yeah, like Akil and Todd do a really good job of managing the way that the flow of content and the flow of individuals comes in, and how we use them in each of our campaigns to support, say, our retail partners and support some of our initiatives and product launches and all that. Moving the needle using them for that purpose is like, it's a benefit, but to us, it's all part of the same thing, which is we support them. So
Yep.
when we support them, they support us. We get our product out to the world, and they get to test with us. They get to tell us what they like, what they don't like. They get to talk about the products they like the most, and people trust them. So when we have a good team that helps us out, and we are very clear and very, very open with what we're trying to, allow them to do in the market with our stuff, we give a little bit of freedom, and then we kind of let them go. And moving the needle for us really just means getting eyes on the product and getting eyes on the brand and letting people know what we stand for and, why the product exists and why it's out there and who it can help. And using influencers for that purpose is like, and athletes, it's the best option because they've already got what they need.
Right.
They've got their purpose. They know why they're doing it. So when we become part of that, they want to tell everybody their secrets, right? So they get out and they share it. And so for us, that's a benefit for everybody. Everybody wins.
Yep. Yep. Is there a world where the brand does not work with athletes or influencers?
No, I don't see that.
That's
I
our
don't see that.
core, man. That's who we are.
No, and I ask it almost because there's still brands that don't work with influencers.
Yeah, crazy.
It's wild,
it's
right?
crazy.
You guys have seen like it's not just a feeling thing. You've seen the results.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's one of our best pieces to the puzzle, I think. It goes back to kind of like a core principle, which is there's a person at the end of everything that we do, right? And
Yep.
if we show the people that are actually standing behind what we do, all we get is credibility, and all we get is honest feedback and honest promotion, and it's not paid for, it's not bought, it's real. These are real people talking about it and supporting us just the same as we support them. So
Exactly.
that's the true value, and then that pays dividends forever.
Forever, evergreen, over and over. Absolutely. How, I guess, has the creator landscape, as it's changed in the last few years and different platforms and all the things going on, how has AllMax adapted, I guess, to that, the different different platforms in the ecosystem and all the different things changing? How have you guys kind of approached that in terms of a strategy perspective?
Yeah, I think I should. I'm talking too much, probably.
No, that's
I'll
good.
jump in after, but you guys go ahead.
Well, I would say one thing that I know, especially like being involved in it in a lot of different ways. So like, yeah, I work with creators at an AllMax level, but I have friends who are creators. I like know lots of people like in the fitness world and outside the fitness world that create as well too. It's becoming more lucrative for us to get people that want to create and want to work with the brand, but also for people to want to work with brands and creators that are out there. And I think that has opened the pool, just even in the last year, has opened the pool of who is out there and who is looking for it and who is kind of hungry for it, and kind of gives us like a really nice, variety to choose from. We have a lot of different types of creators and a lot of different people out there that want to work and that are eager to work. And it's really, really nice to see because one, it makes our job easier because we get to see and work with a lot of different people and they come to us and we kind of like work with them in that regard. But two, it's also just speaks to like the current, like you said, the landscape of like being a creator and what is out there and the opportunities that come with it. People see this now as an opportunity, and for some people it's their livelihoods and it's their life, and it's not just a hobby. So it adds more seriousness, it adds more validity, and it makes the results and the work speak for itself, I would say. That's one point of it.
Sure. No, that's
Yeah.
great. Did anybody else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, it's a lot like a sports team. Like it's a roster, right? So you've got all of these influencers and creators and athletes on your roster, part of your team. So I think sometimes, to Akil's point too, it's like you're getting relationships that you wouldn't have had before. So we're now in touch with people on a regular daily basis who are an extension of the brand, who are taking this out for us into the marketplace.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that AllMax has done a good job of, is nurturing those relationships and creating authentic relationships with its athletes and influencers and creators so that they feel the love from AllMax. They feel like they're part of an extension of the brand, an extension of the company itself.
Right.
So then that's reflected when they're there posting or talking at a show about AllMax. You can feel the passion and energy and authenticity coming from them. They truly do love the brand and they truly do love the products and what the products do for them and the results. So it's not like they're even selling it. They're actually just more announcing it and trying to get that out to people to say, hey, you got to try this. This is the best creatine I've ever had. This is the best protein I've ever had.
Yeah.
So I think, and maybe a challenge for us is just continuing to kind of cultivate that roster, because you're always going to have a couple of creators that, they're not going to work out for one reason or another, just like you would on a sports team. So it's like, okay, we're going to move on from that one, but we're going to replace them with someone else. So we're constantly looking for that complete roster where we can get as many great creators and influencers and athletes as possible to be a part of the brand, because they're such an influential piece of what we're trying to do to get that new product out. I mean, Shane will, we'll have meetings on the new product launches and stuff. And that's one of our go-to strategies, is get that into the hands. And when we send them the product and they take the product, they love the product. We don't really have, Akil and I and Shane don't have to do a lot of, prompting or coaching. They're genuine, they're authentic, and then they're putting that out to their followers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's and it's a night and day transition from, say, like a decade ago. Across the industry, we have our big celebrities and we have those individuals, and then social media comes on the scene for brands to use, and a whole crowd of individuals that were incumbents maybe in marketing, view it as, oh, that's kid stuff, that's just fun social media, whatever. And then this whole industry of influencers starts coming up, and maybe they're not getting taken seriously, but the brands that innovated and realized, hey, these are thought leaders. These are people who are taking an idea that you're trying to tell the world, and they're actually buying into it, and they're helping you get that message out. That's the major transition that's happened in the field of brand influencers. And back to one of our core concepts is innovation. And for us, that doesn't just stop at products. It means in our methods too. It means we adopt all those new technologies, those new media channels, and those new abilities. And now influencers are a very big part of that. So
Yeah.
I think the value of influencers and athletes on a team is far greater than it ever has been. And so for us, it's very much a core principle for us, is to keep that team strong, keep that team supported, and keep them motivated. And so everything that we do all day between Todd, Akil, myself, the rest of the team, supporting the product and all that, is for that purpose.
Yeah.
To let them know that we appreciate them.
Yeah. And both of you guys, I mean, all of you really described it as a true extension of the business. It's a team. I like that in terms of having the roster. Some people are going to make it, some people aren't, but you're there to support, you're there to guide, you're there to lead them, and then obviously take, their audience and, promote it their way. I don't get the idea that you guys are like spoon
Right.
the lines. They're going to do what they want to do creatively to their audience, right? Which I think is really important, because I think some brands still don't get that. I think they're still spoon feeding, say this, say that, do this, do that, when you make
Right.
and then we're all sit and watch the ad and we're like, oh God, this is painful. So I think it's nice to, allow for people to have creative freedom. And I know you talked about the team and, people working out and people not working out, because that's real life. That happens. I guess, what are some things where you go, this person's getting kicked off the roster or not on our team anymore? Are there other performance? I'm going to say maybe performance, or are people like not posting on time? Like, what's going on? What are some things that you could share?
Yeah, that'll happen sometimes where people aren't posting. I find, like, again, the relationship is key, because a lot of times there's something going on in their life. So and if we have those open lines of communication, and Shane came on board too and brought on a nice software system that we use. So there's a way to kind of monitor that and still be, again, in a relationship mode with them. We understand life gets in the way, things happen. They get themselves back on track. Obviously, if it's a repeat offender that continues, then we're going to kind of flag it. And then eventually, if it doesn't work out, then we part hopefully on amicable terms. But yeah, I think for the most part, we're very happy with the roster that we have. And I think most of the people are performing at the exact level that we want them to.
Do you
we try to suss that out ahead of time too.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, we try to suss that out ahead of time too with recruitment, right? Like we judge, based on what can you give to the program, and what's the realistic ability for you to, if you say we want 3 or 4 posts a month, like, are you going to be able to do that? Do we need to watch? And we generally just at scale, like Todd said, the softwares we use, just we watch, but we don't harp. We want people to do things their way on their speed. We know there's fluctuations week to week. We know when March break comes up, like we know when holidays happen. So we're not that tight on it. But at the end of the day, it's, if the relationship is bad, the relationship is bad. Right?
For sure. It's got to make sense. I guess in the roster today, do people mainly have like a bigger IG, a bigger TikTok, a bigger Snapchat, YouTube? Do you guys care? Is it like the platform?
It depends on the creator. Like, we have certain creators that I think work better for certain platforms. Some creators make better content for TikTok, and some creators make better content for Instagram. It kind of just it depends. The algorithm is sometimes tricky. Sometimes the algorithm prefers a certain face over another. We don't know why, but that's just the way it is.
We're all trying to figure it out.
It's the same.
Moving target.
It's always changing. I think, but we do have some creators that that again are bigger on one or the other. And when we look for new creators, that's kind of something that we point out as well too. Like, well, this person would be really great for TikTok, or this person would be really great for IG. Like, me and Todd have those conversations all the time. Like, when we see new people that want to be a part of the brand.
Cool.
Yeah, we like to value creators based on where their strengths are too. So we're not narrow-minded when it comes to somebody coming to us and saying, "Hey, I don't do very well on Instagram, but I've got an awesome YouTube channel." Like, great, cool, show us that. Let's look through that. So
Exactly.
we have kind of a value scoring system that just kind of looks at every single one of those pieces. Like, there's all kinds of professional athletes out there that are terrible on social media,
For
but
sure.
Yeah.
guys on TV,
I
guys,
know a lot of them. I know a lot
yeah,
of them.
and they're running charities and they're out there talking to people and helping people and getting involved and coaching kids and training them and all that kind of stuff. So like that's valuable.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't blinders on go for one platform. We try to spread it out.
Oh, that's great. That's great insight. Okay, I want us to get into our rapid fire here, folks. Let's get into it. I'm excited. Protein shake flavor you can't live without.
For me, it's Hexapro chocolate. That's my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone
Yeah,
else?
I'm gonna go Isoflex Orange Dreamsicle.
Mm,
It tastes like a creamsicle popsicle. Like it's really good.
that's a
Yeah.
good one.
That's a good
I'm
one.
boring. I'm a vanilla guy.
Shade.
Like,
So
but I can,
boring.
but I can mix it with everything. I can mix it
Cut.
with
Yeah.
Edit that out. Yeah.
Edit that out.
Okay.
everything like that.
Most random place you've ever taken a supplement.
I got a good one. So I deployed overseas for like 7 months. So I've had supplements in the middle of the ocean in a naval ship.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think
like basically
I
underwater.
Can't top that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't beat
That's
that one. I was
I've
on
done
the
a
bus or
plane.
something.
A plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
That's
Support.
You don't top that. Okay, pick one. Gym with no music or cold protein shake after leg day.
Gym with no music, actually.
really Akil. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I enjoy the gym with no music. It's the gym is the only place where I'm not on my phone. So it's the only
Yeah.
time where my brain is actually empty of thoughts. So sometimes I'll go on the Stairmaster and I'll just no music, or I'll go through my workout with no music. I'll
I'm
leave
with
my phone in
Akil
the
unless
locker
it's
room.
treadmill. Unless it's the treadmill, I can do no music, but treadmill, that's just torture.
Treadmill, yeah, that's getting
I like the music. So
I
I'm
like
going
music.
cold protein shake. Yeah.
hyped up. Okay. What's one dream influencer or athlete you'd love to work with?
The King, LeBron James.
Huge.
That's a good one.
Call it out.
Go big.
Yeah.
Yeah, go big. That's a good one.
Anyone else?
That's a hard one.
I don't know, man. Give me Tiger Woods. If Tiger Woods wants to be an AllMax athlete, he's in.
Mm,
Tiger. Okay.
Tiger.
Okay, if we're going like athletes like that, I'll say I think we could do something really funny with Mike Tyson.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, we could
Yeah.
do something funny with Mike
Yeah.
Tyson. That's true.
Yeah,
That's
you could
true.
knock it
Funny
out.
stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Hilarious.
It's good.
If you could instantly master one fitness skill, what would it be?
I don't know what it's called, but it's the
Turkish
one where
get
like
up.
you're hanging and then and you like your legs go up.
Like a hanging leg raise?
Muscle up? Is there
No,
something?
no, no, no. Muscle up, is that what it's called? Or
Muscle up?
maybe
Where your shoulders
Oh.
over and
yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
that's
okay,
muscle
yeah.
up, yeah.
That one.
Whatever that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
that.
Okay, cool. So listen, to wrap up here, thank you guys so much. Why, I guess, should people look to AllMax, right? As a brand that they should be looking to for their supplements. Like, why? Why you?
AllMax has been here. We've been here for a very long time, doing this the right way, doing it the honest way, serving athletes, serving hopeful fitness goers who are trying to reach their goals. We have products aimed at every single goal set for a reason. It's because we make products for people with their goals in mind, and you can trust it. We're CGMP facility qualified. We test all of our products for water-banned substances. We keep everything clean. We've got naturals lines. We've got the simple stuff if you don't trust formulas. We have an answer for all of it, and we really do build our products with the athlete in mind and with the individual in mind, and we sit here for days and days and days putting it together. So if trust is the question in this industry, you can put it in us.
I love that. So well said. Go ahead, Akil.
I would go even so far as just to say, not even so far, like it's a plain simple one. It works. You have to have the dedication and the discipline to do the work, but the supplements really bring you there. Like I mentioned, I was going to the gym for maybe like 2 years before I started working here. Like I had started my gym like kind of journey, and I honestly say it wasn't until I started working here and I started taking supplements consistently that I noticed a real change in my physique, in my body, and in my mindset towards the gym, because I had the motivation, right? And it was like kind of backed by the things that I was doing outside of the gym to make me feel disciplined, to see the results, to continue getting this. Like a kind of like a cycle. you feel the discipline, you see the results, it makes you more motivated, and then you keep going. So yeah, it works.
AllMax, it works.
It works.
It works. That's it. It works.
Listen, honestly, guys, thank you so much for joining me on CreatorCon. We got a really good insight into all of you individually in terms of the role in the business, but understanding kind of the values of the brand. And keep doing what you're doing. You guys are killing it. It's exciting, and congrats. And thanks so much for joining.
Thanks,
Thank you
Dakota.
so much for having us.
Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
thanks for having us.
It's-
Yeah, thank you.